Who would you draft to Sony if we were able to get Spider-Man? But it has to be an equal heavy hitter.
Oh, but are you saying like
so if
just full on swap?
So pure trade.
Captain Marvel. That's easy, bro. Get their ass out of here, Sony. Bring Spider-Man over.
It's the Lame Guys Podcast.
So it may not be the exact date as of today of us recording, but it happened within this week. 6 years ago, bro.
Really? I saw today. Oh, you're saying of when the recording comes out?
Yes.
I was gonna say, I think it's today.
I want to say it was like 2 days ago.
Really?
Actually.
I literally just saw a tweet that said it was 6 years ago today from Discussing Film.
Avengers Endgame. Nonetheless, Avengers Endgame was released, bro.
Yes.
And changed everything.
Yeah. I mean, I know we've mentioned it, I'm sure, before.
Okay, I said 2 days ago. Literally, Matt posted yesterday that
Discussing Film said 6 years ago today, Avengers Endgame released in theaters. That was 17 minutes ago.
Yeah,
so
I just saw that one too.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've said it before on here. But when I think of Avengers Endgame, I don't remember another time I've been so happy at the movie theater. I'm obviously happy to go to movies and like see other movies and stuff, but that reaction that I had whenever like the other Avengers showed up and returned, and you see the sigh of relief from Captain America when he hears it. I don't think I've ever felt that strong of emotion at the movie theater, and that's crazy to say because it's just a superhero movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I've seen like a lot of sad movies. I've seen but I've never felt that type of emotion, like that happiness.
Yeah. I think, I'm not going to say it really compares, but like as far as energy level, let me try to think of like a non-superhero one. Deadass. That last Twilight movie. I saw that one in theaters. And the big twist at the end where it was just all a vision or whatever, and no one actually died. That battle never happened. And then I'm guessing it's in the book. So those that knew were all looking at everyone like, oh shit. But like those who didn't, I remember me and my family didn't. We went to go to Cinemark to go see Twilight in theaters. And everyone was, and like the big like happiness everyone had, like that was cool. But Infinity War and Endgame, were different.
And same for Infinity War. Like I know we're talking about Endgame, but
no, yes, I mean
Infinity War had the same reaction.
They correlate, yes. Well, with Endgame or Infinity War, it was somber. It was sadness. It was hopelessness. And then when you get to Endgame, it's curiosity. It was like, where are we going with this? And then they start the movie off with. They kill Thanos. The Avengers gather up. It's 5 years later.
Nothing gets fixed.
The whole, oh my gosh, do you remember that feeling everyone had and everyone looking at each other when it said 5 years later? Dude, everyone's 5 years? Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
bro.
And it's like, even with Infinity War, whenever they disappeared, you knew that they were making another movie, and more than likely they're all gonna come back. Like you knew that in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
But like still, I walked out that bitch and I thought, what are we gonna do now? Like I walked out that thing and like, it's done. MCU's done, bro. Like Thanos won. Like that's it. Like like even though bro, like more than likely they're coming back. But that's how how well they did it. That's how strong.
Even at the very end, typically you always see the Avengers war. I said Thanos will return.
Yeah.
Bro. I was like, ooh, savage. Yeah. But no, man, all led up to Endgame. And yes, that feeling in Endgame, there's nothing like it, bro. That shit was.
It's just a roller coaster of emotions.
Yes, and I've said it before.
Final battle.
I've said it before. The generation before us, they all say, "Bro, we saw Star Wars in theaters. You don't know what that was like, bro. You don't." And we saw Endgame in theaters.
And I don't know what. I don't know if it'll ever be replicated. Like even with this new, Avengers movies that we're getting and stuff like that. I don't know if that 10-year run will ever be replicated by anything.
So, and in Secret Wars coming out, Doomsday coming out, we're going to get all those characters and everything, right. Especially the X-Men and the Fantastic Four all meeting for the first time type shit. Do you think we're going to have that type of happiness at all? Do you think we're going to have that type of like excitement or anything like that?
I don't know because we're not as attached to these characters. We went 10 years building up to that point. This one will not be that. It won't be 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, yes, you could consider it a whole, and then you could technically say it's been actually 15 years or something since we've worked our way to that. But we're not attached to those characters. I mean, I know you like the X-Men and stuff, but this Fantastic Four, these X-Men.
No, the Fantastic Four is new. Yeah,
I'm gonna have no yes, I'm gonna think they're cool, but I'm gonna have no emotional attachment to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know if that moment ever gets replicated. I think like yes, there will be moments where we're hype as fuck. Like we'll see, Spider-Man interact with Tony, or we'll see we'll see two Spider. Maybe we'll see a Miles Morales, or maybe we'll see like in Secret Wars we'll see some cool shit. But I don't know if it'll ever equate to like the build up and the level of succeeding that MCU put in those 10 years. And like you could have built up to these 10 years, and Endgame and Infinity War could have been like they could have been a letdown.
Yeah.
But they weren't.
Could you imagine?
But they weren't. They lived up to the hype, and it ended like perfectly.
Yeah.
It ended so perfectly that it was almost like people were just like, okay, why would I even keep watching the MCU? Like, what do I do now? Like, what can we do now with these new superheroes? And then MCU struggled to find itself. Yeah. And then that's why they've had to bring other people back and stuff. So, like, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever see those 10 years replicated. I don't think we'll ever see that build up to that moment ever replicated. I just think that's the odds of that being so successful like that are very slim.
I get it.
And so it's like to replicate that again. I mean, I just think that would be super hard.
Yeah,
I think you're definitely gonna have your moments
solid ass streak
where we're hype as fuck. Like we will be hype as fuck. But Infinity War and Endgame had people that don't even like superheroes going to watch these movies and like feeling emotion.
$2 billion.
Yeah,
$2 billion. I haven't say this though. Shit, we've said it before. Secret Wars for real adds all the Spider-Man again. And you bring back Wolverine, and that's what everyone's wanting. Tony, Logan, and Peter Parker, like all of them interacting together. Oh, shit.
There'll be hype. It'll be hype.
Shit. $3 billion.
It will be hype, and just based off adding them, it may beat like the box office of Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
But I don't think like to get a genuine reaction of like a true 10-year build up, and then like everyone's genuine reaction in those movies. I don't know if they'll replicate that. Like we'll be hype. I was hyped when I saw all three Spider-Man together.
Yeah.
But it's still, to me, it doesn't live up to that moment when I like at the end of Endgame when everyone returned.
Yeah.
Like to me, it just doesn't. Like it was a hype ass moment, and it was great.
I've told you before. I think that was the only time. I'm not gonna say only because I've had like small like spurts, but I think that was the only time where I've audibly like yes, like type shit when Spider-Man, literally just Spider-Man swinging into frame.
Yeah, no, it was great.
Because he did nothing. He just swung into frame. Mask comes up. Yeah. And I just screamed because I'm just like, we are here. Yeah. Holy shit.
It was great. But like, I don't know. To me, I don't think I had the level of commitment. You know what I mean? Like I was committed to Endgame and Infinity War to that outcome. And I think it's just different.
Yeah. But nonetheless, what a ride.
Yeah, I can't believe it's already been 6 years.
Yeah, whenever I saw that, I was like, 6 years.
Yeah, really
I felt like, once again, 5 years later.
And it just doesn't feel like we've had much come out since then. I know there's a lot. But,
yeah, but so there actually has been
but
a lot.
Like,
but
it
nothing
just doesn't
stuck.
feel, like it just doesn't feel that way.
And then whenever you feel like the stuff that's stuck, it feels like even those feel like forever ago. Like,
right. Well,
like No Way Home feels forever ago. Wakanda Forever, I'm not going to lie, kind of feels like forever
It
ago.
does. And it also feels separate, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't feel like it's... Yes, obviously it's in the MCU.
No,
I know
I get
that.
it.
But like, it just doesn't feel correlated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it feels like it ended right there at Endgame.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like they've found a way to keep it going.
And that's why Marvel's in shambles. No, I'm just kidding.
and that's fine.
We've never
this
agreed.
is something completely new.
Yeah.
And they're still building it. So we've always been like, dude, just got to give it time. Like
Let
it took
them
them 10 years.
Let them cook.
It took them 10 years to get to that moment.
Yeah.
So like you got to give them time to build this one.
Yeah.
And so maybe they will, but if they do, I mean, then fuck, bro.
I mean,
and all like
shit.
they're
hype.
already gonna go down history, but
yeah, the hype just from the Robert Downey Jr. announcement alone was just like look at Twitter on that day. Look at X that day. We back, baby. Marvel never died. Marvel's back. Like done.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna get into it later, but the Thunderbolts reactions we're seeing all saying the same thing. We back.
Yeah.
Marvel's up. So it's like I get it. It's never going to be replicated because that was a hot ass 10-year streak. They did have some, setbacks at some point. Even though they had some movies that weren't the strongest. I mean, a couple of the Thors, not many people liked Iron Man 2 or 3. People have their likes and dislikes, but nonetheless, that 10-year streak was something magical.
Yeah. No, and then you had the point of, Yeah. Okay. So let's say it is. Let's say you get to a point where it's Secret Wars and like there's a ton of hype, ton of chatter. I think the chatter is mainly because like we'll see OGs return.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so then you can still make the argument that it's only hype because we're seeing those people from that 10-year run like coming back.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Even with Doomsday, I mean, yes, I'm thinking of. Sad to say, when I think about my excitement for Doomsday, I'm thinking about seeing Doctor Doom, and I'm thinking about seeing them damn X-Men. Like that's where I really stem from. Like, yes, Shang-Chi's gonna be. Yes, Panther's gonna be in it. Yes, all these people. But I'm just like, oh, I get X-Men
like
again.
If we see Captain America again, like bro, people are gonna be fucking hype.
Which Captain?
Well, either like and even and then if you really want to put a spin on it and do a heel turn type shit, like then let the theaters let it think that we're seeing our Captain America, and then fun come to find out he's a heel, bro, and then like that would be some wrestling shit right there.
So Steve Rogers, turning heel.
That would be some wrestling shit right there. I'm just saying, like that 10-year run is just so crazy the way it ended, like successfully like that, and then even then you have your people that are coming from there to here. And then a lot of the hype is because of that.
Marco told me that he read the Sam Wilson Captain America.
A lot of people say it's good.
Yeah, he said it was really good. And he said he thinks that's the plan. Or what they do with Steve in there is going to be the plan what they do for him in the MCU, that it's Commander Rogers. And I was like, oh, shit, it's like the older Commander Rogers. That's cool.
That would be cool. But yeah, either way, though. I'm just saying. You're right. Like how people say they had Star Wars. Like when our kids are older, we're gonna be like, dude,
we had an Endgame.
Y'all weren't there for fucking the MCU when it first started. Y'all weren't there.
And then they're gonna be like, Dad,
you an old head, bro. Shut your ass up.
Tell us about the DCEU.
Dude, you don't want. Yeah,
you don't want that conversation right now.
It's gonna ruin the mood.
Still hurts.
Just stop talking about it. What are we at?
78.
It's episode 78 of the Lame Guys Podcast. I'm Mario.
I'm Vincent.
What do we got this week, bro? It's been kind of slow, I feel.
Kind of slow. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, last week we just had so much to review.
Yeah, it was just nothing but review. And this week, it's just like small spurts of things, but nothing crazy. One thing that I did not catch, and it made its rounds on Twitter just for the day. I feel like it didn't like blow up the internet or anything like that, but I added on here. Apparently, bro, the season finale for Born Again had a little hint of the Spider-Man theme in there.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so people started mentioning that you can hear the Spider-Man theme for Daredevil Born Again when it came to, I think, one of the scenes with Kingpin.
Yeah,
and I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Someone put the audios together. Oh, you hear it. And apparently the director even came out and said it. So it says, but the directors of episode 1, 8, and 9 of Born Again said that the Marvel doesn't always share their plans with them. And it caught them off guard when the inclusion of the Spider-Man theme was in episode 9. And they came out with a long quote saying that, yeah, Marvel doesn't really tell them much. They say, oh, while you're at it, here. That's it. And they're for what? What's going on with this? No, just put that in there. And like I said, it's correlated when it comes with Kingpin's theme or something like that, or like one of Kingpin's scenes and all that. So it's like, what does this really mean? Yeah. Are we going to get Spider-Man showing up in Born Again? Are we going to get Kingpin actually going to the movies when we've talked about Vincent D'Onofrio saying he's not allowed to go to the movies? We know that Spider-Man is not going to TV, hence why Tom Holland wasn't able to do the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man voice. So what's going on for the future? I have no idea. Apparently, you know who does know? Kevin Feige. You know who does know? All them execs at Marvel.
Yeah.
Now, what? Where do we go with this information?
I don't know. I'm not getting my hopes up personally. Yeah, I feel like we could have seen him a lot already, especially like in Hawkeye. Like we could have seen him in multiple.
That's a lot of people. I remember talking about that one. Yeah,
in multiple stints on TV, and I personally just don't think Sony's ever gonna let it happen. So I'm not gonna get my hopes up. If he did show up though. The thing is, though, if he shows up in any show, for me, I don't really care about anything else. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, Daredevil's fantastic. I love it. Fantastic. I love the show Daredevil from the Netflix, Disney. Spider-Man shows up, I don't give a fuck about anything else. I just care about Spider-Man. Yes, like that's what I care about. And
so I think the shine away.
I think it does take shine away.
And it would suck. Or like the idea of Frank, Matt, and Peter all together, bro, sounds fantastic, bro. Like I love seeing them interact in the comics or anything like that, or hearing about any media. I mean, even some of the anime, so like it would be cool. Like my first introduction to Daredevil was back in the day when I had the VHS of Spider-Man the Animated Series and Daredevil was introduced in there. And then that made me go, who the fuck is this guy? This guy is awesome.
Yeah.
So, like, seeing them interact back in the day, cool. I want that now. And you're right. Sony's not going to let it happen.
I just don't think Sony allows it, dude.
Let's go with this one. The draft is going on right now. The NFL draft is going on right now. Who would you draft to Sony if we were able to get Spider-Man? But it has to be an equal heavy hitter.
Oh, but are you saying like
so if
just full on swap?
So pure trade.
Captain Marvel. That's easy, bro. Get their ass out of here, Sony. Bring Spider-Man over. That's
okay,
easy.
I understand it's $1 billion entity because it is. It made a bill.
Yeah.
And you're going to watch it.
You're saying you need a heavier
but you
hitter?
need another
Like
heavy
a core person.
Yes, bro. So who are you okay
like,
with
but
no
is
longer
that Avengers
seeing
now or like just throughout the whole MCU?
Let's go MCU right now. But okay, we also have to account for this. You can get them in some Avengers movies. They can have some small, MCU movies, or not small, but they'll have some MCU movies. But there's going to be these type of boundaries, and they're not going to ever go on a TV show. They're not going to have this many cameos. Like,
and you're saying Spider-Man will be on the MCU and they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, and they do whatever the fuck they want. But Sony has to have someone. You have to give them at least one or two, because Spider-Man is a fucking heavy hitter.
Yeah.
That's why they're not getting rid of him.
Yeah.
Can you think of anyone that you would go?
I can think of names, but it's just a matter of are they on the same level of Spider-Man? Because that's very hard to say.
It's hard because it's like, are they on the same
on a
level?
bigger level than a lot of these superheroes,
and that's why you could say, could you give them two?
Because we talked about the Mount Rushmore the other day,
yes,
and like of superheroes, and Spider-Man is on there, bro.
He's top 3.
So, would Sony take Captain Marvel and give them?
So Captain Marvel, but then also you gotta give them.
Could you give them Sam Wilson's Captain America?
No.
Why?
Bro,
you wouldn't do that trade?
Captain.
I'll sign it right now, bro. What the fuck? For Spider-Man to be in any project we want, I'll sign it. I'll sign that bitch right now.
Bro.
And
yeah,
no
but Sam is
Captain
the face
America
right now for Marvel.
I wouldn't say he's the face.
Being the new Captain America, who's the face?
You're saying because Steve Rogers was the face. Like, even if we said this before, bro, Spider-Man is the face of the
okay.
MCU
You're right.
now.
You're right.
Like, even with him not being in this project, like he may be the leader of the Avengers, but he is. I'm sorry, Sam Wilson is not going to live up. I personally don't think he's going to ever have the hype that what's his fucking name, dude? Chris Evans, bro. Chris Evans. No, that Chris Evans had.
Yeah.
Because Chris Evans is fucking adored.
Yeah.
I don't think his will.
But we don't know yet.
Yeah, and we don't know. And maybe
because we talked about the 10-year gap or the 10-year streak they had.
And if I'm wrong,
we could have a 15
if I'm wrong,
year.
I'll be the first one to come in and say I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I
as of right now, you don't see it.
I don't. No, I mean, there's a big reason why too. There's a lot, and like everyone just wants to not talk about it, but there's a big reason, and it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
But there is a big reason that he is never going to live up to Chris Evans' Captain America.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't. I love the Captain America movie. I thought it was. Good.
I was just gonna say, and for those listening, I mean, you did love it.
But I also, dude, it's not. I don't care. I'll trade him over if that means I get Spider-Man over in every project that we want. Yes, I'll trade. Dude, I would trade the Hulk for that, but I know the Hulk is too loved that.
But he's also in a deal too with Universal. That's why we don't get him too much.
Right.
Fuck y'all, bro.
Right, and even though you may not like the MCU's version of the Hulk's IP is just too big. Like they just couldn't. So then I'm trying to think. Okay, who else? They're not gonna. Bucky's not equivalent. Bucky's not.
Okay, we'll wait for the success of Thunderbolts. We'll give you the Thunderbolts.
So you're telling me you would trade the Thunderbolts, all of them, for Spider-Man, but you wouldn't trade just Sam Wilson's Captain America?
Yeah,
that's crazy, dude.
How?
I would trade Sam Wilson like that. Spider-Man to me is the face of the MCU right now, and he should be the leader. So like, I think that.
Yeah, but get this. You give them the Thunderbolts, and after the success we're about to hear, and hell, even Sentry's in that motherfucker, you give them the cast of the Thunderbolts.
They're all kind of like sides. So.
Yeah, but they about to be names after this shit. Yeah. And then you tell me you get
Shang-Chi?
Multiple. Huh?
Would you trade Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me, dude. I think Shang-Chi. I like Shang-Chi way better than Sam Wilson, Captain America.
But I think you're right how you said it's just because. Well, it's not necessarily because of Steve Rogers. I'm thinking just because the name Captain America.
I think you're thinking of the IP.
Yes,
that's what you're thinking.
The IP of Captain America is bigger than.
I'm thinking of Sam Wilson right now. The past movie that we just got, and it was good, but it's like he still has yet to show me like that he's gonna be like he's gonna be it. Now, I said after the movie that I watched, I do think he can lead this Avengers for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's ever gonna be as big as Chris Evans.
You know how pissed I'd be. They go, yeah. So Disney and Sony made a trade deal. Sony now has Daredevil. Bro, Sony gave
Would you trade Daredevil for Spider-Man?
Fuck no, bro.
See, I think
because
I
I'm
would.
thinking, because I need them both in this.
Oh,
shit.
right, yeah. I guess the whole point of this conversation is to get
Yes,
them
I
both in
need
it.
them. I'd be pissed,
Yeah.
bro. Hey, they go, look, we get it. Disney finally bought the X-Men from Fox, or they bought Fox so they can get the X-Men. Yada yada yada.
Would you give the X-Men?
Fuck, bro.
If that means too,
okay.
Like we still have yet to see what this X-Men is going to be. So if they say, okay, Sony, if MCU says, Sony, you can have the X-Men, we got to take Spider-Man back, and we get anything we want with Spider-Man now. I'm pulling the trigger.
I was just going to say,
I don't give a
look,
fuck.
after Secret Wars take on,
I'm pulling the trigger, bro. I
take
don't care. I don't care. And so, like I said, I think Sam Wilson's Captain America can lead the Avengers. I believe it now after I saw his movie.
Yeah.
But I still have no loyalty. I still have no admiration for that character yet. Maybe it will happen. But as of right now, he's not even in the same league to me as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I would trade him, Captain Marvel, like that. Who's another one? I would trade
Thor.
I don't like Thor as much as other people, but I think he means too much to the MCU.
Yeah.
So I don't think that would be a.
And that's how I feel about for Cap.
But what I'm trying to say is this isn't our Cap. It's not the Cap that we were with for 10 years. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
So yes, I understand the IP Captain America is huge in the MCU, but that is not our.
I'm thinking.
That is not the OG Captain America.
You give up Fantastic Four.
Oh, for sure.
I know you.
For sure.
I'm just looking at the shelves going,
For
who would
sure.
I give up?
Yeah, because the shelf I'm looking at is DC.
Yeah. Who would I give up?
The Captain Marvel's the easy choice.
What if they said, okay, you can have Spider-Man, but every villain stays at Sony? You will never see a Doc Ock.
So we get just new villains?
He just has to interact with other heroes' villains.
Even
if it don't make sense, you just go, fuck it.
I think I would still do it because then we could just make new villains.
Yeah.
So
I mean, in my head, I'll think, damn, bro, I will never see Green Goblin. And
that sucks. But to be fair, we still haven't seen it.
No,
so.
yeah, but we still haven't seen it yet. But
well, we saw Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
But it's not Tom Holland's Goblin.
We haven't seen Tom Holland. And in my head, I was gonna be like, damn, bro, that means we're never gonna see Venom in Spider. Well, we haven't seen it in this Tom Holland version either. So I mean,
yeah. Okay. What if I said we'll give him Captain Marvel, Hawkeye, and Black Widow, and
she's dead.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm just trying to think of the core Avengers.
Okay. Hey, we give him Loki.
Yeah, I would do that too, but I think he means too much to Thor, so it's I don't know how much you can do that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would. I don't think I would. I think I would trade Shang-Chi. That's not what I'm saying, but I think I'd rather keep Shang-Chi than our Captain America that we have right now.
Okay.
So I don't know, and I hope, dude. I hope I'm proven wrong about this new version of Captain America because I do think he can lead the Avengers now. I saw that movie. Yeah. I told you that's what I needed to know. I needed to know can he, and I think he can.
Yeah.
But I still don't have the love I have for him like I had for OG
that's
Cap.
also because emotional attachment we talked about or whatever.
It's
I mean,
10
with
years
Steve
of
Rogers,
build-up,
yes,
it was 10
years.
years. And not only that, Civil War and Winter Soldier are two of my favorite MCU movies.
Yes,
so
yes.
it's just not in the same league right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I mean you're right. I understand. It's the emotional attachment we have with Steve Rogers. It's the emotional attachment we have with that 10-year run of all the movies they gave and all the cameos we saw. I get it. And we've only had 2 appearances of Sam Wilson as Captain America when it comes to the last episode from the show and then his movie itself. And I mean, he just needs to be completely.
He needs to be pushed.
Yeah,
in the WWE sense, he needs to be pushed
because whenever we talked about when we reviewed the movie, you said you believe it, you're sold.
Yes, I'm sold.
You said you're sold, and I told you I need a little more. But that's also because of how we're trying to word this. We had a 10-year thing, yada yada. I just need a little more,
right?
So but I think that's also the emotional attachment thing I have with Steve, where I need to have that emotional attachment. Well, I don't really need the emotional attachment because whenever we saw Steve for the first time, I was just told this is Captain America. Okay, boom, that's Steve. I mean,
yeah. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
If Steve Rogers, we see that send-off that he got in Endgame, if no one else took the mantle of Captain America, would you have been annoyed? I don't think you personally would have.
I don't think so, to be honest with you.
And so then that's why I don't think it's a big deal to trade him for Spider-Man. Now, I don't think that's a fair trade because Sony would be like, no, we need more than that. But I'm just saying, like, I would throw him in there for sure.
Yeah, probably not. Just because, I mean, at this point, I'm like, no one's Iron Man.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, we're saying all this stuff. But like we said earlier, Spider-Man is on the Mount Rushmore of superheroes.
Yeah.
Sony, dude, is not trading him. They wouldn't.
No.
They're not a Nico Harrison and going to trade him like he traded Luca. Like, they are keeping Spider-Man. There's a reason.
Bro.
There's a reason that they know they do the things that they do with Spider-Man because Spider-Man is a money maker.
Yeah, he's one of the biggest IPs, bro.
Yes.
You could just show the logo and kids everywhere around the world, whatever language they speak, they're going to say Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's just, we say the Mount Rushmore because you can show them a Superman logo without saying who is. You just go this and they go Superman, done. Show them the Batman logo, Batman, done. Now number 4 could be argued. Whenever you sent that tweet, it literally, like I said, it could be an argument. Wonder Woman, one of the greatest female superheroes of all time. You could put her on.
You could say she's the most known.
Yeah, most definitely. So you could throw her on there. Now
Yeah.
people are gonna be like, "It's Black Widow." Motherfucker, you didn't really know. You didn't really talk about Black Widow 20 years ago. Get the fuck out of here.
No.
So it's like you can say that. I mean, it could be Wonder Woman. People nowadays are gonna be like, "It's Captain. It's Iron Man." Motherfucker, once again, you didn't say that 20 years ago.
Yeah.
We said this about the big 3 before.
Yeah, I just think like the big 3 just have too much history.
The big 3 have too much history, and then the MCU brought to light these others, or like the others, but Captain and Iron Man to where people know more now. They're bigger than ever.
I would say Iron Man has a better argument than really
Captain.
Yeah, I would say that.
Is that just because of Tony?
Or
like just because like Robert Downey Jr.?
I just feel like a lot of people know Iron Man. Like even if you don't like superheroes, like a lot of people know Iron Man. Now I guess you can make the same argument for Captain America.
Captain America punched Hitler in the comics.
He's America, right? Like so I guess you can make an argument, but I think a lot more people. I don't know. I think a lot more people like Tony.
We stemmed this whole conversation. It was a hella good conversation.
Well, because you brought up the trade, and I'm just saying right now.
Well, no, I was going to say, and it started because the Spider-Man theme was in there.
I will give up a haul for Spider-Man. I'm telling you right now, dude. I'll throw a lot of people in that bitch.
Yeah.
So, just to get Spider-Man in any project we want.
Yeah.
I'll give up a haul, dude.
Would you give up Panther?
I don't.
Hey, you know
so
what?
I like Spider-Man more.
Yeah, I would.
Well, yeah, because you're thinking it's not Chadwick's Panther. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but I guess that's the same argument that you would have when it comes to.
Yes, exactly.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, Bob.
That's what I'm trying to. That's what I've been trying to tell you. Is that like you're thinking of the IP? I'm thinking of our version of it. I think that I would give this version of Black Panther for sure. The problem is that I really want to see his son in the movie be Black Panther. So if you do trade that, then it negates that.
Just recast.
You know what I mean? So, either way, cool. I hope Spider-Man shows up in the show. He's not going to. But
we talked about it a little earlier. We mentioned Thunderbolts in the trade. Let's see if that's going to happen. You know, Sony, Disney hit us up for some information. But Thunderbolts had their premiere.
Yep.
It's out there. The world, or some people in the world have seen it, and gosh damn it, man,
the reviews are great.
Amazing reviews,
yeah, amazing reactions.
This is the 3rd time I've had to go on Twitter and mute certain words.
Really? Thankfully, I mean, now that I say this, fucking social media is gonna hear me, and I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna see a spoiler. I was just about to say, I keep seeing people don't get spoiled. I have yet to see anything. I've yet to see nothing. I just see great reaction.
The day of all the reactions coming out, I saw one tweet, and it was from Thunderbolts Updates, and it's like their official page for it. And it said, if you do not want to be spoiled, because apparently it's already been leaked. The footage is already online.
Oh, wow.
They said, go on and mute #Thunderbolts. I did it for Avengers Endgame, and I did it for Spider-Man No Way Home. And I went in there, #Thunderbolts, mute, because I'm not. Because
not me. I always
these
get
reviews
spoiled on TikTok.
These things. Soup said Thunderbolts has 2 post-credit scenes, and the last one has the most important and most exciting in years. This other person, Thunderbolts takes the Marvel Cinematic Universe into the world of independent cinema. It's unlike any product that came before. Florence Pugh gives a performance worthy of an Oscar. The MCU finally is finally back and better than ever. Stay to the very end for something magnetic. The hell does that mean? You know what I think of? Magneto. So let's move on. Thunderbolts is one of Marvel's most enjoyable films in a while. It feels different than most of the studio's projects. It's bold, funny, filled with great action and unexpected emotional punch. Florence Pugh is a star, and there is so much to love here. And then same with that tweet. The screenshot cut it off, but it said post-credit scene. They said it's up there.
Yeah.
So, like I said, all those, and there was a lot more. I just didn't screenshot all of them, but they were all saying the same thing. This is a great win for Marvel.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah,
and it made me just go, God, bro.
I'm excited. We're gonna see it this week. I'm sure a lot more spoilers will be out this week as it's releasing.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot more spoilers this week. Typically, where I see the spoilers is on TikTok because people always get me, dude. They'll be recording in the theater, and as soon as I see that, I'll be like, oh shit, and I still keep watching. Like I can't. Like I'm just invested at that point. So, I mean, yeah. Do you have any thoughts on what it is? Do you think it's Magneto?
So when I saw that magnetic thing, I was like, is it Magneto? Why the fuck would they put Magneto on there? Where the hell does Magneto come from? Like that type of shit come up in my mind and then be like, does that prepare you for Doomsday whenever the X-Men just randomly show up or whatever reason they show up? I'm like, maybe. There's also a part of me that wants to say, what if we get Dr. Doom?
That's what I was thinking.
What if we get Dr. Doom?
I was thinking we were going to see Robert Downey Jr.
I spoke to Marco about it, and I was like...
Because it leads right into Fantastic Four.
It leads into Fantastic Four. And what did they do with Thanos before we fully got Thanos in at least Guardians? Post-credit scene. Movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can see a small post-credit scene of Dr. Doom, and you don't know who it is. Or you just hear Victor Von Doom. You don't know who it is. That type of shit. And then, where does this lead? Okay, Fantastic Four. Are we going to fully get Victor Von Doom, Dr. Doom inside there? We don't know, but we are all kind of assuming we're going to get a post-credit scene of him, another post-credit scene. You see a little more of him, and then boom, right into Doomsday, we fully get him because you want to at least sprinkle him in to introduce. Right. I mean, you obviously could just surprise everyone in Doomsday because everyone already knows who it's going to be. Everyone's already hyped for it. You could do it. Or you could just sprinkle him in the way they done before.
I think it's Robert Downey Jr. And what I bet you it is I think that it's him coming to our MCU. Because, and then, so you leave it there, and then Fantastic Four is obviously kind of like a prequel, right? Because you got to see their world get destroyed.
Yeah.
And then they'll come, and then we go straight into Avengers.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's no, is there another project in between?
Nope.
Yeah. So,
nope.
So yeah. So we'll.
I guess whatever there's TV wise, but no.
Yeah. So we'll go straight. Or shit, we may even see Dr. Doom and the Fantastic Four at the end show up.
Could you imagine
at the end of Thunderbolts? Like they got to build that up. So I think that's what we'll see. It'll be a little
on teaser. One of the comments on one of those posts. Someone said Sentry's in it, so you have to have Hulk because if I'm not mistaken, in the World War Hulk storyline. Sentry is going off, so they have to, because I mean he's a fucking strong ass character, so they have to have Hulk come in and take his ass out. So they're like, who are the Thunderbolts going to have help him against Sentry?
Yeah,
Hulk. But now a lot of people are also saying it could be Red Hulk as well. But I'm like, I don't think that'd be a post credit scene though.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Unless it is Bruce. All fucking back to Savage Hulk or something, or Scar. Scar finally making a full appearance because I think there are some comics where Scar is in Thunderbolts. So I don't fucking know. Nonetheless, now it just has me speculating on who what the post credit scene is. That has me a lot more hyped for the movie because I mean I'm already through the roof for this movie. Like there's been since the beginning. Once we start seeing footage from it, we're like, I'm sold.
Yeah,
I'm sold. The initial idea of it, I was like, do we really need it? But then once we start seeing footage. Oh, bro, they already had our money.
Yeah.
It was done. Now this is like, bro, how much more money do I need? 2 screenings? 3 screenings? Like, what is this now? So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it's. I've been thinking it was gonna be great. When it first came out, I didn't have much hype for it though, but I was still gonna go see it.
Yeah.
Like you said that they have our money. I mean, they don't really have to do much to take our money. I mean, we mainly go see all the superhero movies. So, so I mean, I went and saw Kraven. So they don't really have to do much. But I didn't really have any high expectations for it. So the fact that we're seeing all these, I'm thinking even better, dude. Like that's gonna be great. And then for them to say that the end credit scene is crazy like that, then I for sure think it's got to be something to lead into us to Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see it this week. So we'll review it probably next week.
Moving on, we kind of spoke a little bit about how successful Sinners has been performing in the box office. Well, we have another one. Ryan Coogler Sinners is outperforming almost every single horror movie in the past decade, earning $71 million domestically already. The project is projected to pass $100 million domestically by Sunday. I want to say this was this past weekend, so it's already hit that milestone. There's also a thing going around saying that Ryan Coogler also gets first dollar, apparently, from it. So he had some deal with Warner Brothers to where basically before they really start making their money, he's gonna make all his money.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool. People were saying it was unprecedented. This is the first time thing. I watched an interview. Ryan Coogler said it's not. You just don't really hear about it.
Yeah.
And the interviewer was like, "Why do you think that is?" And he's like, "Well, I mean,
no one really talks about money. Like
no one really talks about money." But then he was saying it's because like the reason why it's getting so much publicity. If I had to guess, and I had if I had to read his mind through it, I'm thinking it's just because he's black. Honestly, like it's
Maybe.
because it's shining on that type of thing. So like it's happened before with certain directors that weren't, but now be like, oh, it's so important because he's black.
Yeah,
he's just looking at nah, bro, I'm just a director. Like you just got to know how to negotiate. You just have to know how to do these deals. And
well,
that's
I
what
feel like
that's what he was kind of talking about.
I feel like also if it was more known, then a lot more directors would do that, and I don't think studios want every director doing that shit.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, so if more people are talking about it, then so I think that's why sometimes it's like hush hush. But Ryan Coogler is a big IP, and
he's a big IP right now.
So
not just that though, he also after 25 years, he gets the full rights back to the movie.
Wow,
that's something that they spoke about that not many studios really do, and apparently other studios were dumbfounded that Warner Brothers allowed that. Because typically, Warner Brothers still owns fucking the Wizard of Oz, and that's one of their oldest things. Like they still own all that shit.
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler, after 25 years, gets all that shit. So whatever money it makes after
so
that, it's pure pocket. Because it is a true, written, produced, direct, original. Everything is him. Every original idea is him in that movie.
If they look at Ryan Coogler now as like
the next
future investment? Yeah.
I mean, that's 100% true.
Like, let's be on the good side of him, and like let's give him all these perks, because then he's more willing to come with us and do movies for
I'm
Warner
surprised
Brothers.
they didn't give him a first look deal. Honestly, I'm very surprised they didn't. So basically, anytime they have I think if I can remember correctly, it's basically, let's say you write something that's fucking off the charts. Instead of saying I want to go shop it to different directors, you go, Ryan.
Oh yeah.
You want this?
Yeah.
And oh yeah, I want that shit. I want that shit. I need
Give me a little extra 20 on that
bit. Bro, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what it in like small summary terms. That's basically what it is. Hey, you want this? It's yours. Yeah. Like that type of shit. They have that type. They have like Nolan. Nolan had that privilege before. Spielberg had that privilege before. There's certain directors that have that type of shit because they have that type of pool. As of right now, I'm just looking on Box Office Mojo. Internationally, it's at 15 million. Domestically, it's at 77. Worldwide, it's at 93 million. We about to hit that.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, we about to hit that move.
I saw a blue Nosferatu out the water.
Oh man, I don't even remember when Nosferatu made.
I saw it. It was great. It was great, dude. And right, I just think, bro, we need him in more superhero movies.
So that was going to lead me into a lot of people are now asking. Marvel's already taken Ryan Coogler, dipped his toes in superhero game with Black Panther, and outstanding, bro. Outstanding. We already talked about, bro. Let him do, he could do Blade. Bro, I feel like a lot of people agree with that sentiment. They may have heard the Lame Guys podcast and they said, you know what, them guys are smart. They know what they're talking about. Or they just, came up with their own conclusion. If they could do Midnight Suns, I'd be down for that. But what if DC gave him a movie?
That's what I was trying to work my way into, is maybe Warner Brothers is giving him all these perks because they see a future relationship with him, and maybe he does work his way over to the DCU.
If Ryan Coogler decided to direct a DC movie,
Batman.
Let's
know. Yeah, I don't really have to think much about it. Batman. Yeah. I mean, and then I'm trying to think. Okay, well, we already have no, because it doesn't have a director anymore, right?
And Muschietti is still.
Oh, is he still attached to
technically
it?
the director?
So if we did have that, okay, fine, whatever. So let's give him another project. It can't be Batman. Then I think, first off, okay, I know I just said no Batman, but wouldn't Ryan Coogler and a Batman Beyond movie be fucking fire?
Oh, bro, that would be.
That would be crazy. So I know I already said no Batman. So. What else could we do with Ryan Coogler?
That'd be good.
Yeah. I know obviously a lot of people say Static Shock.
That's the biggest one I see.
That's great and all. But I also think he could be directing these movies that just aren't necessarily all around black people.
So yes,
he can't just do normal superhero movies.
So this question isn't coming from me. I saw this on Twitter and it made me want to bring it up on here. But there are a lot of people that are saying he can do Icon, he can do Static Shock, he can do this person.
It doesn't always have to be.
And then one person had commented and they flamed his ass up. They said, not trying to be that guy, but does it have to be someone
Yeah,
of color? And they flamed his ass, and I'm thinking, but why? Like,
But why? Like, I think
he's a director, and yes, he has success when it comes to the hair, like the culture and everything like that, and he's fucking phenomenal at it. But like, if he's also just a great director, there may be actors who want to work with him, and I don't want them
aren't black.
But it's like, bro, he could also be a fan of all these other characters that aren't black and let him fucking direct.
And not only that, why are we holding him just to those specific IPs when there's very few of them? You know what I mean? Whereas like if you just let him direct whatever he wants to, and maybe he does only want to direct that type of stuff. But I'm saying like, bro, you put him in a Batman movie, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
And then I think you could attach him to anything really, and it would be great. It doesn't always have to be black centered. Now, and that's great. If he did a Static Shock movie, I'm sure he would knock it out the park, and I'm sure like Static Shock would be looked at in a way different light. I remember watching that when I was younger.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think that you could put him on a big IP, like a bigger one, and he would knock it out the park, and it would be great. Now, as far as DC goes, I don't really know. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is Batman. First thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah, he'd be good with.
I just think he would be good with a dark character like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't really know.
Could he do Flash? Dead ass. A certain.
My honest answer is I think he could do anything he wanted to. I think he could do anything. Now I'm just trying to think of what fits his style. Like what would he want to do in his style? And I think he would do a good Batman movie.
Hey, dead ass, he'd do a good Lanterns.
Yeah, I think he would do a good.
It's
Lanterns
not just because of Jon Stewart aspect, but I think he'd do a good Lanterns. Now I'm looking at
once Jon
shit.
Stewart gets a movie, I think he could do a good Jon Stewart for sure. Yeah. I think he could even do a good Justice League. Like if you really want to,
dead ass, he could.
Yes, like he's working his way up there to like being on those type of projects.
An ensemble, yeah.
Yeah, so like, I mean, I think DC should give him whatever he wants. First off, and then I think he should also work his way up to a even bigger IP. It just worked out perfectly because Marvel already had Black Panther, who's already a big IP, and he's African American. DC, I mean, they really don't have that many. I mean, Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart. I mean, sorry, but I mean, I can't really think of a bigger one.
I guess Static, how you said, Icon. I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, but those aren't really like.
No, I get it.
Like Green Lantern's a bigger IP than all of those. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So, but I also don't think we should just limit him to that. Yeah. And maybe he only wants to be, but I feel like if he doesn't, then we should let him direct whatever he wants. Yeah. Let him direct whatever he wants.
I mean, you're right. I like how you said that. Maybe Warner Brothers is allowing him to build up to something like that, to where they can say, "Hey, man, we worked all these deals out with you. Come do DC."
Right. What I'm trying to say is I don't want it to just be limited to that because there's a ton of other projects that I think he would be great at.
Yes.
That don't involve a black person as the main character.
Yes.
So I think that I don't want to just limit him to these projects over here. I think we should let him direct whatever he wants to. And if that includes a bigger IP, then we should, give him the green light.
And one of those things, too, is like, but if he wants to stick to that realm,
and that's fine because he's killing it.
Yeah,
dude, the Black Panther movies are some of my favorite MCU movies.
I rewatched Black Panther, the first one, a couple days ago. I showed Elena because she watches the Spiderman and Friends and everything like this, and she sees Black Panther and she loves it. She has a little toy or whatever. So I was like, "You don't watch Black Panther?" And she goes, "Yeah." So she thought it was going to be an animated thing. I showed her the movie, bro. She sat there and she watched. And how do I know it's that damn good? Typically, when Emily comes home from work, she would see me watch something and just move about her day, talk whatever. Sat down on the couch and watched that.
Teresa loves Black Panther.
She sat on the couch and we watched the whole movie. And she's like, "Oh, you're watching the first one?" And she just sat down.
Anytime I have it on, she watches it. And then you think odds are stacked against him in the second one. Like, T'Challa just passed. Like, that's hard. And I think even the second one was fantastic. Yeah. So, like, the way he did Namor and everything, and that's another thing where it's like the way he did Namor, who these are Mexican descent and they're not African American, and he killed it with that. So I just think put him on any project, and just that he was willing to do, and it doesn't matter what race is involved, just have him do it because he's gonna knock it out the park.
He also likes to have that deep culture thing too.
Yeah, he does.
So he could have just said, "Hey, Namor's Mexican." Yeah. Call it. No, he's not fucking Mexican. He's a certain Mayan Aztec type heritage, and not just that. The small little details and
even
all that
sinners.
Shit.
The vampire's of old descent Irish person. And he kills that whole little thing with they have.
Irish.
So so I think we should just let him direct whatever. But he may want to stick to that specific genre. So what else we got?
Last but not least, bro, they finally did it. Episode 2 of The Last of Us Season 2. They finally did it.
Yep.
If you don't know, now you know. They killed Joel.
Spoilers. Yep. And we've said it a lot.
Yeah, they killed Joel.
Yeah. So I watched the episode last night. I I knew obviously it happened, and so I didn't, I've seen it in the game, so it wasn't like a big I need to watch it right now because WrestleMania happened, and then I just went to bed early.
Hey, sorry, but
I just went to bed early some nights, and so I finally watched it last night. I saw some people saying it was worse than in the game, and I don't feel that way at all. Do you feel that way?
I don't feel that way. No.
I feel like they even lightened it up a little bit. I feel like they even because in the game, bro, you see Abby smashing his head in with that golf club.
Yeah.
And in this one, you just see her punching him. She hits him in the knees with the golf club. That's pretty much it.
And then in the game, she does the final blow with the golf club.
Yes.
She hits him in the head.
But you see his head, bro, and it's more smashed in. I feel.
Yeah, it's not just smashed in, bro. In the game, they do the shot from behind Joel, and there's blood squirting out of his head. This one, it's
straight in his neck.
Well, yes,
it's the golf club, but it's broken.
It was broken, and she stabs him right in the neck, and he bleeds out and everything like that. I think the emotion that Ellie gave, that Bella Ramsey gave, was a lot more emotion than in the game. I will say that because in the game, after Joel dies, homegirl just gets knocked out.
Oh, yeah. Well, you don't really see it. Yes. Whereas you don't really see her able to give emotion.
Yeah. So you're right. But this one, she gets kicked in the stomach, and then she crawls over. She stays
awake the whole time.
She stays awake, and she crawls over so slowly, crying, calling for Joel, and then she lays her head on him, bro. And like that's the ending shot, that, bro. Like,
Did you like how they spinned it up? Because in the game, he's with his brother.
He's with Tommy.
Yes, and we don't get the whole Jackson getting ran through with all those zombies. We don't get that in the game.
What a fantastic episode!
I thought it was really good. I thought I was more interested in the city stuff, to be honest with you.
So yes, you saying they switched it up, and did I like it? Yes. What a fantastic episode! What a way to add!
Yeah.
What a way to add! They added to the first season to where stuff that wasn't in the game is now in the show, and you go, where did this come from? But yeah, it turned out fantastic. Well, another one of the situations where, my gosh, thank God y'all added a little more because it just gives a little more depth, gives a little more. Edge of your seat type shit.
I think in the game too, they mentioned that Jackson has been ran through before. They've had to deal with hordes like that before, and so this time we actually got to see it.
In my head, I thought to myself, "God damn, this is Battle of the Bastards type shit, bro." Like this is like edge of my seat,
yeah. And let me just get, bro. First off, like directing wise, like a special, like all the effects, all that shit, bro, knocked out of the park. All the zombies looks terrifying. Everything looks fantastic. One of my favorite parts was when they let the dogs out. And you see that collision when the dogs collide with I thought that shit was so clean the way they did that. No, I agree with you. I thought it was great, and I honestly kind of like the way they did that better than the game.
Yeah.
Now I know the game is like historic and that is what it is, but ultimately you still get the final same result.
You get the same result.
Joel dies, but you just get to see a little bit more extra stuff on the side. But yeah, you don't get to see Tommy. Tommy's there with his brother whenever he dies. And then, yes, you're right. They knock out Ellie. Let me get the person who stole the episode from me was is it Caitlin Dever?
Mm-hmm.
She stole it from me.
She was great.
Like her, like the way she was talking to Joel, everything about it. She did a fantastic job. And I'm like, bro, I shouldn't be liking you right now because I know what you're about to do. But she stole the episode from me. She did the best.
So Lauren is watching, and she doesn't know the game. She doesn't know anything that happened. She's been excited to talk to me, but like how you said, WrestleMania came in the way. It took me 2 days. I finally watched it, yada, yada, yada. I came to her, and I was like, I watched it. She goes, oh, my gosh. And then I look at Marco. I go, do you know she hates Abby? And he goes, do you hate Abby? And she goes, fuck Abby. And in my head, I literally looked at her. I said, oh, you have no idea.
Yeah, and we said that. And we said that's how it was going to be.
Yeah,
like in the
it
show,
made me excited.
The people that haven't played the game, and even I, when I played the game, when I first got to that point, I thought, bro, why the fuck are you going to make me play as this bitch? I hate her.
Yeah.
But then obviously you see there's two sides to every story, and so you'll see Abby's side.
Yeah, there's at least one point in the game where I let her die on purpose, bro.
I think you had said this a while back. I think what they're going to do is this season will just be Ellie's side.
Yes,
and then next season will be Abby's.
And and it's either going to be Abby's fully, and at the very end we get them finally meeting, or the meeting is going to be another season, because this game is a lot.
It's a lot. Well, because ultimately they both leave Seattle because Abby beats the fuck out of them, and then they both leave Seattle, and then there's still story to tell there. And then Ellie once again decides I'm gonna go look for her, and so yes, you're right. That in itself could be the 4th season, and then it leads up to the final fight. And it really doesn't have to be like 10 episodes or so. You can make it 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I was happy with the episode. It does suck to see my boy Pedro get done like that, but I mean, it was gonna happen.
It was gonna happen regardless.
And I think genuine reaction that I saw online was I saw more just like accepting because a lot of these people know already. Like they played the game, like a lot of these people. So I do think, the people that haven't played the game though are gonna have a tough time watching Abby now.
Like I said, I speak about it. I speak about it almost every episode at this point. Two things Campia said when you mentioned the dogs. He goes, and also another reason why dogs are better than cats. He goes, what the fuck cat's going to do in that situation? He goes, nothing. He goes, them dogs took care of business. And I was like, good point.
I told Teresa, I was like, babe, you know what sucks though? I was like, they treat these dogs bad to be that mean, to be that aggressive. I was like, they would have to be like, bro, because no dogs.
Maybe not.
You could train like police dogs. Yeah. Police dogs are like that, military dogs. I just think though, the way they looked all savage like that, I think they probably just been in their cage all day. You know what I mean? Like, and that's all they're let out to do is for training and then in their cage. Oh man. So, but I thought that was so cool the way they did that with the zombies running and the dog boom
right to the neck, bro, and they knew exactly where to go to. But the other thing Campia said, and I guess I never noticed him saying it too, but he kind of had the same sentiment as far as it's going to be the finale. We're going to get the finale of Joel's death. But then like I said, I never knew he kind of made those comments. But then he said, I've always said, it should have been the finale or maybe close to the finale. He goes, I didn't think they were going to do the second episode. He goes, but then when I really sat and thought about it, the story of The Last of Us, he goes, The Last of Us 2 doesn't start really until Joel's death. He goes, what happens after is The Last of Us 2. He goes, the death is not The Last of Us 2. He goes, The Last of Us 2 is Ellie's journey, Abby's journey into The Last of Us 2.
Joel.
Yeah. He said, it
Joel's
doesn't start
in the second one
until he dies. He goes, so it made sense for them to do it now.
Yeah. I just thought, and I think we had mentioned before, we just thought Pedro was just too big a name, that they were going to try to draw as much money as they can from him, and that they were just going to stretch it out. Because the game skips over a lot of stuff, and so you could stretch it out if you wanted to. Yeah. But if you want to follow the game directly, the second episode is pretty spot on to the game. 100%. It's pretty spot on because you do a lot of stuff with Ellie and Dina when they go on patrol. Like you do some stuff there, and you go in the grocery store yourself and do all that stuff. Yeah. All that stuff rightfully is one episode. Yeah. And then if you actually layer it the way that this game is, it's about the second episode.
I liked how they did the I like that moment with Jesse and Ellie. Whenever he was like, Joel's already on patrol. He wanted to let you sleep. Yada yada. Y'all good? And then like she kind of like she got mad about it and hearing about it. But then she straight up said, she goes, look, Joel is always going to be Joel. I'm always going to be Ellie. That's just the way it is. Yeah. Like we may not always agree with things. And she goes, but we're basically saying we're going to be fine.
Yeah, she's pretty much saying like we're father and daughter. Like we're always going to have our issues, but he's still my guy.
Yeah, and I love how she goes, we're gonna have a father and daughter day or this, and she was trying to joke about it, but in my head and but everything that came after that, like he's still gonna be him, he's gonna be me, and we're still gonna be like us. Like at the end of the day, yes, we are still father and daughter, and nothing going to change that. I may be pissed at him like crazy. I may not like this man right now, but at the end of the day, this is still my father figure. Yeah. That's kind of what it alludes to.
Yeah, he's still my guy. So. Yeah, ultimately, I thought the episode was really good. Yeah, I thought it was good. And then you include the battle, like even when Tommy had to fight that bloater, right? Those are called bloaters, right? Yeah.
Emily, she didn't really watch the first season. She sit there and be on her phone, chill, and like sit there with me when I watched it. And same with this, I was like, did you want to watch the second episode? She goes, I mean, I'm not following it, but sure, I'll sit there. She put her phone down. She was watching the whole thing with me. And I'm really like, it's that good. But then even when the bloater and Tommy had to fight the bloater, she goes, this thing won't die. I said, shit, baby. I said, yo, man had to fight 3 of them. Shit. I said, I was playing in the game and I had to fight 3.
I told Teresa, I was like, babe, they've been a zombie for so long. Like I forget what they're called. It's like I want to say calluses. I was like, it's like an armor for them. Like it's all like protect. So like when you shoot them, it does nothing. You literally the only thing you could do is in the game, I would shoot them with the shotgun in the head, but then I would also you just had to light them on fire. That was the way.
100%.
So
finally get some.
Yeah, I thought I forget his wife's name. Tommy's wife. I thought Maria was going to shoot it from the back.
Yes, same.
But then
no,
he had enough fire that it just fell. Yeah. Ultimately, I was pleased with the episode. I thought it was good. And then so now I think just the rest of the season will just be about Ellie in Seattle because we've already seen scenes from her.
Yep.
So I think it'll just be about Ellie, and it'll still paint Abby as the villain. And then next season we'll see Abby's side of the story.
Yep.
Because to her, Ellie and Joel are the villains. You
100%.
know what I mean? And so like it truly is that type of story. So. Anything else?
That's all we got, bro.
So next week we'll see Thunderbolts. So we'll be able to talk about that next time we film. And then nothing else is coming out, right?
Nothing I
Obviously,
could
like
think of.
another episode of Last of Us.
Yeah, another Last of Us, but that's gonna be after the fact.
Right. And then nothing else. I don't think.
Oh wait, no, I'm stupid. Yes, we will have Last of Us to talk about.
Yeah, we'll have episode 3.
I'm tripping.
I just hate how we're just always behind. Because like by the
a
time
week
this
behind.
episode comes out,
Yeah.
we'll already have had episode 3 of The Last of Us, and so it's kind of like irrelevant. Either way though, Joel's death is just crazy.
Yeah.
If you have nothing else, then we'll catch you guys next week.
All right, later, guys.